Okay. Okay. Not on yet. This is something that we haven't seen before, and the chat room is loaded today. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yip-de-doo.
Yip-de-doo.
It's the 26th. Wow.
Today is the 26th already.
Yes.
Goes by quick. Alright, you should be coming up in the chat room soon. What's taking so long? Okay, you're on.
Okay, get ready. By the way, just want to tell you, well, gotta get my headset on here.
No, you don't.
No?
You're using
Oh,
the phone.
yes, I do. Okay, sound is good. Just, I have to tell you that this is not Andrea. Okay, this is not the Roto lady who was advertised to come on this morning, but she will be on. All right, just so happens she had something that she had to take care of. Phone call at 9 o'clock, so she'll be doing that, and then she'll be running right over here, okay, to join. That's right, Chris from Cambridge. The chat room is good morning to Eddie Heckman's Teresa. Happy birthday, okay? Greg is here. Chris from Cambridge. Chris JP with a great job again, doing a terrific review. Dad's a premier. There you go. University of Maryland great. Daniel Ferrara is here. Danny Fuller is here. Look at this. Never been so early. And I guess you're here for Andy. She'll be here in a couple of minutes. DK Lush is Joe. Look at this. DK Lush, Eddie Heckman, Jeremy Gibbs, King Hat, knock a homer, Robert C. Whoa, King Turds. Oh, this is crazy. Tommy Johnson, Anola Toledo, Zelmo, White Sox Al should be here. Boston Paul will be here. Good morning, everybody, and welcome aboard. Okay, it's dear Teresa, happy birthday to you. And Andy will be by in just a few minutes as we move right along. Now, one of the things I've been looking at is the trading deadline is coming up in the next couple of weeks. So we really have to take a look at that and see if it affects any of our lineups, okay? You trade somebody and it may just affect your team a little bit, may affect a player. And one of the interesting, I think the most interesting of all, is the Mets' dilemma. Since the season started, the New York Mets have been talking about trading Pete Alonso. After dropping to a season-worst 11 games under 500 on June 2nd, the Mets have surged back into contention in the crowded National League wildcard race. And look, I got to tell you, there are Met fans. This is very interesting. Met fans all over the place are hoping that they stumble in the next few weeks. And the rumblings around Alonso will likely pick back up because Alonso was definitely trade bait. Okay? He has a 244, 16 homers, and 42 RBIs this season. Now, he can test free agency in the offseason. He would be on the top. He would be one of the top bats in the market if New York makes him available. Met fans everywhere, good morning, Chris Gallo, everywhere would rather see a trade then him go free agent at the end of the year, okay? But the Mets have it for a lot of players. I mean, J.D. Martinez, Luis Severino, Sean Manaea, Jose Quintana, Harrison Bader, all on expiring contracts. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm going to call back probably.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do the show.
Okay, and now, ladies and gentlemen, I talked about Pete Alonso. Very interesting situation.
I don't know if they can hear you anymore, Leonard.
Okay, but now, here's Andy.
Okay. All right, I stole the phone. I stole the phone, which is where I'm doing the podcast today. And happy birthday to Teresa. Greatest Heckman in town. Takes care of Eddie and gets him to the games and just is a great provider for the family. We love you, Teresa. Happiest birthday to you. The Cleveland Guardians, not the Orioles, but the Guardians, have the best record in baseball, okay? Not the Orioles, not the Yankees, not the Phillies, not the pesky Dodgers. It's the Cleveland Guardians. They're 51-26 with a .662 win percentage. No, that was me walking away, Danny. It was me walking away with the phone. Good morning to Turd. Good morning to everybody. I hope Lenny said hi to all of you.
Yes, I did.
All right, the Mets lineup lately, Laura, this is for you, my friend, okay? The lineup has started with Francisco Lindor, Brandon Nimmo, J.D. Martinez, and then Pete Alonso. In that order in each of their last 11 games, and now they are 9-2 in those 11 games, so let's keep it going. See, the Mets aren't done. The Mets are not finished. Let's talk about the Yankees, because they're about to have a streak of 10 or more losing games. They actually have had 29 winning streaks of 10 or more games since the last time they had a losing streak of 10 or more games. And right now, in the last 10 games, they're 3-7. So while they might not be losing every single game, they're certainly on the roller coaster downhill, okay?
Talk about my downhill prediction.
And of course, Lenny wants me to make sure that you all remember his prediction. Of course, he doesn't want to remind you of the ones that don't come true, but of course, this one is coming true, and it's the Yankees, and they are just, I don't know. They're not going to win the American League East, I do not think. But Lenny's prediction did not only say that they wouldn't win. He said that they were going to come in last place in the American League East. And I say that's going to be a pretty tough battle, right?
Kenny Flamian, Merrill.
So Danny says that the Stankies will win today. We'll see. They're playing the Mets, so I doubt it. But good morning to Merrill. Good morning to Kenny Flamia. The Mariners placed Brian Wu on the 15-day injured list with a right hamstring strain. It's being classified as a low-grade strain, so perhaps Wu has a chance to return when his 15 days are up, okay, or shortly thereafter. There's a couple of guys that could be the candidates to step into the rotation in Wu's place. You got Emerson Hancock, right? But his status is unclear because he exited his last start at AAA Tacoma with lower back tightness. And then you have Jonathan Diaz, who's really struggled in the bigs, okay? For the MLB, his stats are a 5.06 ERA with a 1.88 whip, and that's horrible, okay, for those of you keeping track. However, in Tacoma at AAA, he has an 8-1 record with a 3.26 ERA, so we'll see what happens there. Maybe he'll get another chance, but you know we've seen this many times. All right, on to Paul Skeens and his beautiful girlfriend, okay? She's about the cutest thing I've ever seen, Little Miss Dunn, all right? Paul Skeens has his life this guy's he's living the dream, I'll tell you that. He was sitting at 100 miles an hour in the 7th inning last night, and he finished off his day by blowing a 102-mile-per-hour fastball by Alex Jackson. His numbers through 8 starts His numbers through 8 starts are great. 47 and a third innings, 38 hits allowed. You know that's always good when the hits allowed are lower than the number of innings pitched. 8 walks, 61 strikeouts in 47 innings, and 5 home runs allowed, a 2.15 ERA. What do you think? Does he deserve to be in the All-Star game? She can't be as cute as me. That's probably true. She can't be as cute as me, but you should see this girl, man. She's just adorable. I don't know, man. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit his 3rd home run in the last 4 games. Now, I have a question for the chat room. Now, I'm telling you right now, this guy, his only problem is the fact that he's not hitting as many home runs. But as I mentioned, he hit his 3rd homer in the last 4 games. You know this guy has power in there somewhere. I mean, just remember what you were thinking of Vladdy Jr. when he first came up. Now, I know a lot of things have happened since then, and he's had a couple very disappointing seasons as far as the home run capability. But look, remember when he first, the power doesn't really help if your launch angle is too low, and he fixed his launch angle. He did very good. He still is hitting 288 with 40 RBIs and 36 runs scored. Now, depending on where you draft this guy, I think he's dropped a lot in drafts, and I will tell you, he is about to go on a power tear. That's just my opinion. He went 3 for 4 with a home run, a double, and a single. 2 of his batted balls were over 111 miles an hour exit velocity, and you know what I'm talking about when I say this guy hits the ball very hard. All right? There you go. Garrett Crochet, 5 2/3, 5 hits, no runs allowed, 0 walks, and he struck out 6. He got 16 whiffs, and he has a 38 CSW percentage. Garrett Crochet, the 25-year-old Chicago White Sox, it's actually very impressive being the fact that he's on the White Sox. His record is still 6-6. I don't know how he's getting any run support from that team. But good morning to Jay Gibbs. He says that we had Larry Schechter as our guest in the Sabre Games and Simulation Committee. The recording will be posted on Sabre's site in the next day or two. SABR. Lenny will be our guest in August. Make sure you attend to support him. That's wonderful. We all will. Absolutely. Keep reminding us, though, dude. Thanks for coming and telling us what's going on with Sabre, too. Bryce Harper. What do you think of Harper? Is he about to have another MVP? Somebody asked on X this before the season, who do you think is going to have a career season? And I did say Bryce Harper, and I got a lot of crap for that because he had a good season last year, and they said, what, you expect him to be better than that? Yes, I did expect him to be better than that, and he is better than that. He's having his best season.
Mitchell's here. Good
morning to Mitchell. Bryce Harper this season, .303 batting average, 19 homers, 56 RBIs, 5, I don't know what this means, 5 OAA. They constantly throw these new formulas in that I could care less about, okay? Anyway, who has the better chance of winning their 3rd MVP? Is it Bryce Harper or Shohei Ohtani, who we will talk about again, believe me? Good morning to King Hap. Is King Hap here?
He was.
He was? Good morning to King Hap.
Yes, he's still there.
All right. And the Happy Hour Social Club, which comes on tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time. You can find them on their Happy Hour Social Club Twitch account at Happy Hour SC. That's the best place, even though you can definitely catch them here at Lenny Melnick. You can listen or you can watch them on the video, but we just don't get as many friendly people around, so if you want to be engaged in conversation and stuff, really the best place to listen is at Twitch. And we love those guys, and we're happy to have them aboard. But I gotta tell you, if you're looking for a lot of interaction and stuff, you'll probably have a better chance doing that if you download the Twitch app. It makes it very easy, and it's a fun show. Believe me when I tell you. Nobody's paying me to say it, okay? Oh, 8:30, wait. It says 8:30 Taco and I, 6:30, 7:30. What the hell does that mean, King Hap? Clarify what time your show is on for tonight. Let's talk about Hunter Brown. Is Malpal here? Hunter Brown, okay? I'm in on Hunter Brown now. It's too late to buy low on Hunter Brown, but he's still only 79% owned on Yahoo and 67.3% owned in ESPN after all of the early season rage drops, which were absolutely justified. Last night, though, 6 innings, 2 hits allowed. Yes, King Hap says 7:30 is his showtime tonight. All right, there you go. So Hunter Brown, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs allowed, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 20 whiffs, and 33 CSW percentage. Sell high or hold. You can't sell, you can't hold, you have to hold. If you got lucky and you have him, or if you were patient enough to keep him, or if he happens to be available in one of your leagues just sitting out there, let me tell you something. Over his last 4 starts, Hunter Brown, 25 innings pitched, a .36 ERA. Yes, you heard me right. It's .36 ERA. .92 whip. That means his whip is higher than his ERA, which doesn't happen much. But still, both of these are under 1. And 29 strikeouts over his last 4 starts and 25 innings pitched. You got to pick him up if he's still there. Probably too late to do it, but we have to give him the love that he deserves.
His last start, he threw up on the mound.
His last start, he threw up on the mound.
Yes, he did. That's all.
And he still pitched great.
And he pitched better after he did that.
Yeah, I would say once you throw up, you usually feel better. That's pretty crazy. I wonder if it was because of heat or something, but Houston has an air-conditioned ballpark, don't they? I would think these Texas ballparks are air-conditioned. Okay. Let's talk about Mark Vientos. Is Malpal here or what? I've talked about Hunter Brown. Now I want to talk about Vientos, who I tried to get us to draft him over and over, but nobody would let me. Mark Vientos has homered in 3 consecutive plate appearances. Over his last 6 games, he has a .333 batting average with 4 home runs, 4 RBIs, and 8 runs scored. He does have first base eligibility in Yahoo, but he doesn't have it well, he might have it in your league. It depends on your settings, but I will say that he entered the season with 10 games at first base and 19 games at third base. And then this year so far, he's played 3 games at first base and 33 games at third base. So there you go. Yahoo allows everybody, okay, to get eligibility. But he's still great. You should pick him up. He's a powerhouse, right, Laura? There he is. Malpal heard it. He always knows. You missed it, Malpal. We're talking about Hunter Brown, and then we're talking about Mark Vientos, right? Okay. So, not counting games where he only batted 1 time, yesterday was Shohei Ohtani's 122nd June MLB game. He's played in 122 games in June, and he's hit 53 home runs in those games, which is completely ridiculous. Okay. Is Noelvi Marte coming up? What's going on with Marte, turd? J.D. Davis went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a double play in his Yankee debut, but don't get too excited. He was traded to the Yankees on Sunday after being designated for assignment by the Athletics. I mean, how bad do you have to be to get designated for assignment by the Oakland Athletics, all right? Anyway, manager Aaron Boone picked him up. He says that Davis will be used in a timeshare at first base with Ben Rice while Anthony Rizzo is unavailable. He enters the lineup when the Yankees will face lefties, okay? Because he hits good against lefties. That's it. That's all he's going to get. Now, Turd says Noelvi is eligible Thursday, but putting up like a 300 OPS, okay, right? So he's not ready, basically. Malpal says, yes, you ask and you shall receive. There you go. Say hi to Tina. And also, Malpal, it's Teresa's birthday today. Unholy is here. Great to see you, Unholy. Love it. Say happy birthday to Eddie's wife, Teresa. Jurickson Profar. Great timing for Malpal coming in with the Petco Park MVP chants yesterday for Jurickson Profar, who hit a grand slam. He went 1 for 3 with a grand slam, a hit by pitch, and an additional run scored in yesterday's 9-7 win over the Nationals. Now, he did have a brief absence with a knee injury over the weekend, but he's back in action, resuming his hot hitting. He's 10 for 36 with 9 RBIs during his 9-game hitting streak. That's a .278 batting average. And for the season, he's batting .317, okay, with a .410 on-base percentage, 11 homers, 54 RBIs, 45 runs scored, and 4 stolen bases. Okay. Now, Turd says, good chance Marte is optioned when eligible. Let's see. Repeat, 4 O's home runs equals 1 O's loss. Okay, Eddie. Gunnar Henderson, speaking of the O's, right? Let's talk about little Mr. Henderson, the best shortstop that ever lived. Henderson went 2 for 3 with a home run, 2 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. He's on pace right now for 51 bombs this season, okay? He registered his 7th multi-hit game in June, just in June, and he's batting .333 with a .436 on-base percentage, 7 home runs, and 14 RBIs just this month. Now, on the season, he's got 25 homers. He's only 22 years old, so he's on pace for 51 homers. We got to give the love where the love is due, right, to Gunnar Henderson, Mr. Baltimore Orioles, the shortstop, the 22-year-old shortstop. And yes, King Turd says he's putting up an A-Rod caliber year. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Well, we hope without the roids. We're pretty sure without the roids. I'm not going to ever accuse anybody of that. Anyway, it's wonderful to see that he was the Rookie of the Year last year, and he's just getting it done once again. It's like throwing darts. Look at Corbin Carroll, what he did last year. Look at what Gunnar Henderson did last year. And the sheer, just complete opposite ends of the spectrum. When you're going to draft your fantasy team, how would anybody know between Gunnar Henderson and Corbin Carroll who was going to be the better sophomore player, right? It's just a crapshoot. I'm telling you, there's a lot of luck involved in this game. Jarren Duran in June. I bookmarked this guy on X because he said something about Jarren Duran, about how if he does something or accomplishes something, and this was a while back. This was like a couple months ago. He said, if Jarren Duran accomplishes this feat, I will eat my hat. And I bookmarked it because I said, you're going to eat your hat? And he said, yes. And he just responded to that today and said, I will do it. He's really excited because look at Jarren Duran in June. .396 batting average, .203 weighted runs created plus. You know what that means? That's twice what the average weighted runs created plus should be. Okay? He's twice as good. 9 stolen bases, and he leads all outfielders in WAR, Fangraphs WAR, by the way, this month. So Jarren Duran having a very good June. Gunnar Henderson having a very good June. Couple other people are having a very good June. And I will say that Kyle Schwarber has lost his luster for the month of June. You know, he's been the June home run king for the past several years. And it seems like he has lost his luster. Brian Reynolds homered, though, to extend his hitting streak to 22 straight games. That's the longest in the majors this season. Okay. I just have to move around a little. Hold on. Okay. Mickey Moniak, all right, for the Angels, went 1 for 2, hit a grand slam, and got an additional run on top of that. It was his first grand slam. He's only batting .220 with 3 home runs, 4 steals, and 18 RBIs since Mike Trout got hurt, which was quite a while ago, right? Freddie for June, Roto Lady. Another guy hitting great in June. That's wonderful. Absolutely. Let's see what else the chat room is doing. Can we provide the hat or cap that he eats? He'd probably be very flattered that we were talking about him on the podcast, right? I forget his name. I can't give him credit. It was just a random thought.
Boston Paul.
Boston Paul. Great to see you. And happy birthday to Teresa. All right, Garrett Cole, okay, poor Yankees, poor Yankees, but I can't even be that sad because I'm rooting for the Mets. All right, I know, you guys see me on Facebook and stuff with my Yankees shirt on, and then I root for the Mets, but I have all kinds of teams' clothes, okay, probably every team I have something to wear. Garrett Cole had a terrible start against the Mets. 4 innings pitched, 7 hits allowed, 6 earned runs, no strikeouts, 4 walks, 21% CSW, 6.9% swinging strikes. His velocity is a big concern. He threw several fastballs at 91 miles an hour. Let's talk about the slow tosser, but this is a real problem when Garrett Cole is a slow tosser. Something's not right. Maybe he's not ready to come back yet, right? I mean, it was his worst performance in 10 months. It was the second time in his entire career that he's allowed 6 or more earned runs and 4+ homers in the same game. 4 homers. A 9 ERA is what he's rolling with now. 5 strikeouts, okay, in 2 outings. He's got 5 strikeouts. It's just not good. Great to see you, Gallo. Have a great day. Go take care of business. Go Mets. We love it. Everybody's cheering on everybody. Here to say hi and goodbye. Boston Paul has his boss lady in, so he can't be on listening to the podcast. He's supposed to be pretending to work. You know how it goes. Kevin Gausman, he had a solid start against the Red Sox yesterday. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. He's not as good as he's been the last 4 seasons, but he's still a serviceable pitcher. And he will probably still get to the 200 innings, which is a feat in baseball nowadays. Jonathan India is pretty darn good so far. He reached base 4 times. He had 3 runs and 2 stolen bases. And that's now 4 consecutive multi-hit games for Jonathan India. He's batting .264 on the season, .374 on base percentage, 36 runs, 5 homers, 8 stolen bases, and 30 RBIs. Now, his power metrics aren't as high as we expected him a couple years ago to be, but he should still be able to hit 15 to 17 homers, and he does provide a solid batting average floor and on base percentage floor with speed and the park that he's in. Also, the lineup around him, it should lead to solid runs and RBIs if he stays healthy. Now, speaking of the team that he's on, Ellie De La Cruz is such a little adorable youngster. I just can't. Turd shared a post with an interview from Ellie, and somebody said to him something like, when somebody tells you you can't do something, that's when you do it, and he says, well, I try. And it's just, if you've seen him, right, you've seen his face and his smile, he's so likable, and he's just, I don't know how to explain it any more than what I'm saying, but he's electric. He's likable. He runs so fast. He tries so hard. He's just a happy guy. At least he portrays himself as a happy guy. And I think he would be a great guy to be around in the clubhouse. That's all I'm saying. I don't know that for sure, but I love Ellie De La Cruz, and I'm rooting for him every day. Aaron Judge, he's hit 25 homers and driven in 62 runs in his last 52 games. He has 286 career home runs, 7 more than any other player in his first 1,000 career games, and this was only his 914th game. All right? 7 more homers than any other player in his first 1,000 career games, and this is only his 914th game, which means he has 86 more games to see how many more home runs he can hit. Okay, and I don't know if anybody will be able to break that, all right? And Turd brings up the fact that India also hit leadoff twice in a row. Since TJ Friedel went down again, India is excellent for points leagues. Yeah, yes, I remember. Malpal brings up the point of, do you remember before the season when the Reds had too many infielders and everybody thought Jonathan India was going to get traded because there was a logjam? And boy, oh boy, it's kind of like any team that thinks their pitching is so deep and then all of a sudden you just can't have too many infielders. You can't have too many. I guess if all of them were playing great all season, but it is a funny point to bring up. Everybody thought India would get traded because of that. So let's move on to Josh Lowe, who's practically between Josh Lowe, TJ Friedel, Nolan Gorman's been okay lately, but I gotta say, Luis Robert, TJ Friedel, and Josh Lowe, all these guys have been so bad for me. Such injured, useless picks, okay? Useless. And you can't win a team if you drafted those three guys. You just can't win with that team, with Josh Lowe constantly hurt, Luis Roberts sucking, hurt too, and TJ Friedel out again. I mean, what are you going to do? I've actually lost a lot of interest already. Pardon me, kids. What? Did a bug fly in my throat? What happened? All right. Anyway, maybe that was God telling me to quit crying about Josh Lowe. But it looks like he's turning the corner. In his last 11 games, he has a .324 batting average, 3 home runs, 7 runs, 9 RBI, 4 stolen bases, and he went 1 for 4 with a walk, a run scored, and 2 stolen bases against Seattle. So, Josh Lowe turning it on. He's actually gone 11 for 30 with 3 homers, 7 RBIs, and 6 runs scored across his last 8 games. 3 stolen bases across his last 3 starts. So, we all know how he started the season, but he appears to be ready to turn a corner and deliver on the expectations that I personally had for him. Nate Lowe. I'm talking about Josh Lowe. I have them all on my teams, by the way. Nathaniel Lowe, I have him too. So let's talk about the knuckleballer, Matt Waldron. Past 9 starts, 55 innings, 55 strikeouts, a 1.95 ERA, and a .92 whip. You want to talk about somebody who's not going to need Tommy John surgery? It's the knuckleballers. And that would be Matt Waldron, who had his 6th straight quality start, and he's gone 9 outings without allowing more than 2 runs. The run support wasn't there on Monday, which left him to take his 5th no decision. But as I mentioned, it was his 6th straight quality start. So you're just loving life if you pick this guy up. On the season, it's a .343 ERA and a 1.16 whip. And he's striking out a lot of batters. 84 strikeouts in 89 innings. Carlos Estevez got the save against Oakland yesterday, allowing 1 hit with 2 strikeouts across a scoreless 9th inning. Now, his streak of 8 consecutive perfect innings did come to an end, but he converted on his 9th straight save attempt and hasn't allowed an earned run since May 20th. While saves have come at a premium for the Angels team because they're 12 games below 500, Estevez has made the most of his opportunity, and he is still on pace for career lows in ERA and whip. Encarnacion Strand expected to miss at least 3 months, okay? Tanner Houck has been elite and consistent this season, and we all know it, but let me tell you one thing about him. 6 or more innings in 13 of his 16 starts. You know, I love a guy that could go deep into games. At least 5 2/3 innings in every start. Every start. He threw his 6th quality start in his last 7. Also, Alec Boehm went 4 for 5 with a homer, a double, and 2 singles. He also stole a base. And one more tidbit for you, Danny. Ohtani is batting .322. Luis Arias is batting .311. Who ends the year higher? Shohei Ohtani's 9 straight games with at least 1 RBI is tied for the longest single-season streak by a pesky Dodger since RBI became official in 1920. And guess who he's tied with? Tied with Roy Campanella, 1955. And that's it. We got to go now. We're going to the dermatologist. Have a great day, everybody. Talk soon.